What's up, garden nerds? Today we're gonna nerd out over the moringa tree. I'm gonna give you 6 reasons why you should have a moringa tree in your backyard. Come on, let's go. Reason number 1, you should have a moringa tree in your backyard. Guys, this tree is the healthiest tree in the world. It's also called the miracle tree because it is so healthy. I'm gonna post a few links below in the comments, but look it up, guys. Look at how healthy this tree is. More vitamin C than citrus, more vitamin D, more vitamin, whatever. There is so much more nutrients in this tree than there is in a lot of the other healthy foods that you eat. You could survive off of this tree eating nothing but the leaves. People often ask me, what do you eat on the leaves? You can just straight up get a leaf and eat it. People say it tastes like horseradish. To me, it just tastes like a leaf. But at the end of this video, I'm gonna show you how I use this tree to be able to take in the nutrients better and easier than just eating the leaves. But that's reason number 1. It is extremely healthy. You should have this tree in your backyard. Reason number 2, you should have a moringa tree in your backyard. It loves the heat and it loves the sun. When you're gardening in Arizona and you're trying to figure out what plants you can plant where, it's extremely hard to find a tree or find a plant that you can plant in the full Arizona sun. The Arizona sun is crazy. It is very unforgiving on most plants. But with the moringa tree, it loves it. Find the place in your yard where it's the sunniest and where it's the hottest and plant this bad boy, and it's going to thrive, which makes it pretty hard to kill. So that's number 2, why you should have a moringa tree in your yard, because it's easy in the Arizona heat and sun. Going along with reason number 2, reason number 3, you should have a moringa tree is because it takes very little water. Guys, I told you this tree is awesome. That's why it's called the miracle tree. Not only can it take the full Arizona sun and heat, but it also requires very little water. In fact, after 1.5 years or 2 years, you don't have to water this thing at all. I have not watered this thing directly for the past 2 years. Of course, it gets water from the grass and it gets water from my mango tree over here and my peach tree over here, but I give it no direct water and it grows just fine. In some other climates, like in Africa where they plant it a lot, after 1 or 2 years, it doesn't get any direct water. It just takes the rainwater. And yes, even rainwater in Arizona where it never rains is sufficient for this bad boy to grow. So when times get tough, you don't have water, guess what? This tree is still gonna grow and it's gonna be healthy and you can eat it. You can live off of this tree without having to water it. So that's reason number 3. It takes hardly any water to grow these bad boys. Reason number 4, you should have a moringa tree in your yard. It grows fast. You put this moringa tree in the sun, like I told you, give it a little bit of water initially, and it's gonna grow fast. This thing will grow 20 feet, 30 feet every single summer. In the winter, it actually, if it gets too cold, it loses its leaves and the leaves fall off. But what I do is I chop it every single winter. So you can see, if you get in here, a year ago, right here, this trunk was nice and thick. And in the winter, when it lost all its leaves, I just cut it. So it was basically just a huge stump in the ground with no leaves. And now look what it's done since. So if you come up here, this is where I cut it. If you can see here, I cut it here in March, cut it here in March. That was only 2 months ago, 3 months ago. And now, step back and look how tall it is. And we're only into May, we're in the last day of May, and you see how tall it is. By August or September, this thing is gonna be 20 feet taller, 15, 20 feet taller. It grows extremely fast, which means you have tons of leaves that you can eat that are healthy. Reason number 4, it grows extremely fast. That's why you want a moringa tree. Reason number 5, this tree is the ultimate survival tree. It's the apocalyptic tree. When the world goes to crap and the zombies come out, you can live off of this tree. Not only can you live off of the leaves, like I said, but if you take a look, here's some flowers. These flowers will grow pods, long pods. In those pods, there will be seeds. Those seeds can purify water. It's really cool. Google it, YouTube it. I'll do a video one day, but you can see these seeds that purify water. So not only does this thing not take a lot of water to grow, but you can eat the leaves and you can use this tree to purify water. So when there's no food in the stores, when there's no water in the stores, guess what? This tree is going to be your survival tree. It is the ultimate survival tree. That's reason number 5, you should have a moringa tree. Reason number 6, and the last reason why you should have a moringa tree in your yard, is because it helps build your microclimate. I talked about there not being many trees and many plants in Arizona that like the full Arizona sun and heat. So what you can do is you can use the moringa tree to grow, and it grows fast, and then it shades other trees. Look at this mango tree right here. This thing is to the east of the moringa tree. So it gets the morning sun, but then by the time the sun shifts in the afternoon, it is shading this mango tree so that the mango tree is not getting blasted by the afternoon sun. And this moringa tree can take it. The mango tree doesn't like it so much. So you can use moringa trees, place them strategically in your yard so that they can shade other plants and other trees in your yard. So that's reason number 6 why you should have a moringa tree. You can use it to build your microclimate so that you can add other trees into your yard that can't take the heat and the sun as well as the moringa tree. So anytime I talk about a tree or a plant, I always get the question, okay, when can I plant it and how do I plant it? With the moringa tree, you don't want to plant it in the winter. I told you it doesn't like the cold. You want to plant it right after the first frost of each year. That's as early as you can plant it, when it's not going to get cold. You can plant it in the middle of the summer. You can plant it now. Now is a perfect time to plant it. Like I said, they love the heat and they love the sun. So find a moringa tree, find the hottest place in your yard, go and plant it. Give it water, keep it moist, it will start growing. Once you see it grow a little bit here, it's gonna shoot up, it's gonna grow extremely fast. It can take our crappy soil. You probably want to amend the soil, like you want to amend the soil with everything else, but you don't have to. You can plant it directly in our crappy soil and it will grow. So don't wait. Now is a perfect time to plant a moringa tree. Now you can go and buy an actual tree that's already been started, but I've had the most success, and I've heard from many people, if you just go and get seeds, seeds actually in the long run end up growing faster and they end up growing better. So if you can find someone with seeds, that's even better. Like I said, go find the hottest place, sunniest place in your yard, plant a seed, start growing it. Pretty soon, within a year or 2, you're gonna have a tree this big and it's gonna be awesome. And then once it's established after a month or 2 and it's growing pretty well, you can cut back the water and you can water it once a week, a really deep soak once a week. You can continue that, like I said, until it's a year or 2 old, and then after that, you don't have to water it anymore. Just watch it grow every year. It'll come back after wintertime and it'll grow. Okay, so the best part of the video, I am going to show you how I use these leaves to enhance my diet and to feel healthy and to feel awesome every single day, because it can get annoying and you run out of ways to eat these leaves, just to plainly eat them. So I'm going to show you what I do so that I can have them every day without having the annoyance of having to come out here and pick the leaves every day and throw them in a salad or a shake or something like that. I make them into capsules. So here's what I do. Very simple. And by the way, don't ever feel like you're hurting the tree if you trim it back. You can't hurt this tree. You can't trim it too much. So I'll come here and I just come out and I just start cutting the tips of all these branches. Okay? And then from here, I pull off. I don't want the branches, the main branches, but I'll just pick one by one all of the leaves, just like this. And then what I do is I come over here and I have this little thing where I put them in and I allow them to dry. Now I read somewhere, and I don't know if it's true, but I figure it doesn't hurt, but I read that if you dry the moringa leaves in the shade, it keeps a lot more of its nutrients, rather if you just dry it in the sun. So I'll put it in here and I'll let it sit here for a few days, and then I'll come back out. The leaves will be nice and dry and brittle. And then let me go show you what I do once they're dry and brittle. All right guys, so here we are 4 days later. These look nice and dry. Let's take it down. I'm gonna bring it inside. I'm gonna show you how I use them. Let's go inside. All right guys, so This is very simple. I gently pull these out. You can see they're nice and brittle, nice and dry. To minimize this going everywhere, I try and sneak it in here the best I can. And then I just kind of grab it, pull up, and all the dry leaves fall in. So now all I have left are the stems. All the dry leaves are in the blender. And do that with my next round right here. Try and squeeze them in there. The leaves are the healthy part, guys, so you just want to get all the leaves in there, all the dried leaves. Okay, now they're all in there. Let's blend them up. Okay, so once I have it all grinded up into a nice fine powder, you can see that smoke, pour it into my bowl. See all the nice fine powder. There's some right here that I can blend better, or I can pick out. But let me show you how I turn them into capsules. I turn them into capsules because sometimes I'm lazy. I don't want to worry about putting them into the least into a smoothie, or putting it into a salad or a soup or whatever. Sometimes I just want to run out the door to work and I want to grab some capsules and I want to pop them. So it makes it a lot more convenient. So I bought this, the capsule machine. You can buy it on Amazon. You can make 24 capsules at one time. Once you get the hang of it and you get things moving, it's actually very simple. So you get your capsules out of here. You put the bottom part down there, the top part on this side. This is the most time-consuming part. Okay, so now I have all the pieces in, the top shorter pieces of the capsule in this one, the longer bottom pieces of the capsule in here. Then at that point, you simply take this powder. You know what, let me get this big stuff out of the way. Should have blended it a little bit better. You want to blend it really fine. It makes making these quite a bit easier. Just get the powder in there. Make sure you wash your hands before you do this. Smooth it all out, make sure it gets in there to each one. Looks good. Dump all the excess back in. Now you have all the powder inside the capsules. Then comes the fun and easy part. You simply put the two on top, push on the bottom, push on the top. And then, what do you have? Looks like I missed some spots, guys. What do you have? A bunch of different capsules full of healthy Moringa powder. So then you can just take the capsules every morning, work your way up, guys. If you start with like 6 capsules, you're probably gonna have diarrhea. So your first day, do maybe 2 capsules in the morning, 2 capsules at night, and then work your way up. I got up to where I was taking 6 or 7 every morning and 6 or 7 every night. But you just got to work your way up. You can throw this, like I said, in smoothies and in salads and stuff like that, and it's good. But when you're lazy or you're in a hurry, these capsules come in very handy. You can take these capsules, like I said, every morning and every night. You'll have more energy and you'll just feel better all around. So get yourself a Moringa tree, get yourself a capsule maker. Start eating and growing the healthiest tree that there is in the world. Thanks, guys. If you like this video, make sure you like the video, make sure you subscribe to this channel, and I'll keep bringing you awesome videos just like this one.